I've got Tom here, and we are back. And today we are going to be talking about 3 fruits to add to your weekly shop. Now, these are ones that you maybe don't necessarily have on the favorite lists. You know, we eat berries, we eat apples, bananas, but we're going to dive into 3 that, you know, maybe we don't often eat, and then why you should be including them in your weekly shop. So T, hit us with the first one, mate. What we got?
We're going to talk about cherries. I think in particular, getting some frozen cherries. You know, these are rich in antioxidants. So you were thinking about, you know, helping reduce inflammation, decrease muscle soreness. They are, I think they're pretty versatile. And like I say, frozen cherries, we're often probably guilty of buying like the mixed bag of berries and things like that. Or I think like cherries in particular, can also help people. That there's some studies out there that show with upper respiratory tract infections.
Yeah.
So for those people who like to kind of run or spend a little bit of time training outside, I think personally, they're quite easy things to maybe like sneak in, you know, like say swapping your frozen berries for some frozen cherries in your smoothie or with your yogurt. And I know some people will also use like a liquid form as well. You can get kind of like a tartar cherry. Okay, they're a little bit more bitter, but obviously they're a little bit more impactful and in a more concentrated dose as well.
Yeah, definitely. I use frozen cherries for like you say, just a bit of variety. You know, though I'm not saying like berries are a fantastic thing. I just think sometimes cherries are overlooked, and all of these different fruit have, like say, different properties. And you know, I think for the immune boosting kind of benefits of just like a little bit of research on the upper respiratory tract stuff, I think is really beneficial, and it's nice to have a slightly different flavor profile in there as well. Like you say, whack them on your thing, but we also blend whack on the yogurt and oats, but blending them in stuff, you know, like they go very well with chocolate. So it's always quite nice, isn't it? Like to maybe use them in baking, if you can bake in brownies or any kind of like you know, things like that. I think it's quite a nice addition. Great stuff. So the cherries, we're hitting there. What's the next on the list?
Number 2 is going to be figs. You know, I'm going to come at it from like a dairy, calcium, vitamin K point of view. You know, calcium and vitamin K are 2 important nutrients when we're thinking about, you know, bones. But dairy isn't the only place where we can get calcium from, and vitamin K is really important because it helps kind of contribute and work with it. So again, figs is something that we probably walk past the supermarket every week. We probably don't think to pick them up. So a nice bit of variety. And again, just broadening our spectrum of where we get our nutrients from, not always kind of relying on certain food groups to give us our nutrients.
Yeah, definitely. From a plant-based point of view as well, it's quite challenging to get certain nutrients, isn't it? One of the ones that figs offer is iron.
Yeah.
Highest contributors to iron on a plant-based diet. So obviously really challenging to get iron, you know, without meat and fish and etc. And you know, supplementation, you know, it's a little bit of an area where you make sure that it's very easy to kind of be, you know, overloading your iron levels. So do get tested, but to get it from a whole food source on a plant-based diet is challenging. So, you know, fortified cereals and etc., but get the figs in, they're a really nice thing. A lot of people kind of bake them or warm them, and you can put them in porridge if you're kind of making that. It's quite a nice thing. Topping them again, like slicing them up onto yogurts and to breakfasts is a really nice thing. Often people use dates, and I think if you're using dates, you kind of use figs in a very similar way. So, you know, a lot of people kind of use dates in baking, don't they? Like kind of blitz them down,
like energy bars and balls and that kind of thing. Again, because they're more concentrate, so maybe around your training. For me, like figs in salad is really nice. I like fruit in salads, even with a bit of pasta or a bit of pizza. Worth a try.
Figs on pizza.
Yeah, man. It's all those plants I eat, isn't it?
But yeah, look, figs are, again, saying that I'm very guilty of. Just you know, you got your kind of staples, which is amazing. You should have your staples, ones that you really enjoy, that make you feel good. But every now and then, especially when things start to come into season, you know, it's nice to have that tiny bit of variation. And figs definitely, because it's a really simple swap for a date. Or very similar things like that, making energy balls and bars and stuff like that, super useful. Awesome stuff, mate. Yeah, really packed full of loads of good fiber as well. So, you know, really good thing to get into your diet. What's the last one, T?
Number three is going to be the kiwi fruit.
Nice.
Not only is this a really, really good source of vitamin C, so again, we might kind of go towards the citrus fruits, but things like peppers and spinach and kiwi are great sources of vitamin C. But I came across a really interesting study, so I'm just going to quote this to you, that adults who turned to kiwi fruit, they snacked on 2 kiwis 1 hour before bedtime for a month, fell asleep 45 minutes faster, and were able to stay asleep for longer. Now, we know how important sleep is. Like, it's a major part of the puzzle when it comes to your health, your performance, your recovery. So people are sometimes looking for like the weird and wonderful hacks, I think, when it comes to sleep. But actually, we've got, some fruit here that we could add into our evening snack, or as part of our evening meal even, that, kiwis can potentially help with boosting of serotonin. That's the main brain compound that helps regulate our sleep cycle. Yeah. So, a couple of kiwis before bed help you with a good night's sleep.
How about double whammy, getting a few cherries in there to help that melatonin, as well. So look, you can do that, build it with a little bit of protein or something like a bit of yogurt or whatever, and getting that in. But that's quite powerful stuff there. And look, for me, kiwis again is something that I think they're there, but you never maybe kind of have them on a regular basis. And I think they're so simple to just slice up and include, and they really are packed full, and they're quite sweet. So it's quite a nice thing to, potentially when people do have maybe some cravings after dinner in the evenings for that tiny bit of a sweet hit. Actually, if you can start to experiment with these types of things and derive pleasure from eating these sweeter fruits, then we know that the nutrient density of it's going to be super beneficial for your diet as well. So there's some really good facts there, P. Like and it's a really important thing, isn't it, to make sure that you less so in the UK where we have access to everything year round, but if you can just start to kind of edge towards eating with the seasons, edge towards eating with a little bit of local produce. So, in the winter months, yes, use frozen berries. That's totally cool. The fresh ones, like say from Chile or, wherever, they don't necessarily taste the best. So this is the time where you might kind of switch to like, cool, I might try a kiwi. I might try figs. I might try other things that, you potentially don't use. So trying to eat a little bit with the seasons, and, I think it's a really useful thing, mate. So good. Some great knowledge there. Fantastic stuff. So let's all kind of get down the shopping aisles and have a little bit of an experiment. And obviously, if you've got anything that you do use other fruits that maybe kind of people are overlooked, then pop them in the comments or let us know. And we'll be back with some more kind of things to focus on and some tips and tricks. But T, really good stuff, mate. Thank you very much.